Hello and welcome to the Twee Couch Guitar YouTube channel. Today what we're going to get into is this dude right here. Started back in 1958 with the Modernistic series that Gibson put out, and this is 2016 and it is a far cry from the original. Of course, by most accounts, it was considered a flop back in 1958. People didn't really like him, but there were some that latched onto it, like Lonnie Mack, Albert King, and eventually Dave Davies and Billy Gibbons. Now, this is not a history lesson. We're not going to go there with this. We just want to talk about this guitar. But worth mentioning as we go is this truss rod cover, this style started back in 1967. Also in 1984, that's when you lost the pickguard for the first time. Another thing is this neck joint. On the originals, this neck joint would come on over to like the 20th or the 19th fret, whereas up here we're at the 17th fret where the body is connecting. So number of different little changes that happened with this guy. Now you want to add another thing? We've got a bound body, we have a bound neck, and we can do some coil tapping, which is different than a coil split. As far as the neck is concerned, we have a mahogany neck with a rosewood fretboard that's also bound, which is quite interesting. This is a three-piece mahogany body that all got put together and then bound, which is pretty cool as well. It is incredibly light. This guitar weighs 5.14 ounces, like 5.9 pounds. Under 6 pounds, the whole thing. Crazy, not chambered. When it comes to the pickups, in the neck you have a 57 Classic Alnico 2, and down here in the bridge we have a Burstbucker 3. Both of them obviously open coil, both of them zebra, both of them can be coil tapped, and pretty cool. This one right here, it read in at 7.91 kiloohms. Down here in the bridge, it read in at 8.48 kiloohms. When you tap the neck, it goes to 4 kiloohms, and when you tap the bridge, it went to 4.23 kiloohms. So, very cool to have this option. Quick story worth mentioning. When I bought this guitar, I bought it used. It was 8 years old, and I was thinking, oh man, this thing is going to be so much fun with all the tapping that's going to be able to be done with the pickups. And I remember getting it home, playing it, and going, it really doesn't sound all that different. So naturally, what did I end up doing? I took the guitar apart, and when I took it apart, this back plate would not come off, so I actually ended up taking a chopstick and pushing through the output jack right here in order to get it off. But anyway, that was a side note to the side note. When I opened it up, all the electronics were original, never been touched. Okay, all the solder points looked exactly right, except it never got wired for the coil tap for either pickup. So this guitar has been owned by someone else, I think a couple of people, for 8 years and has never actually worked correctly. So I fixed it. Well, we don't need to go into all of the 2016 quality control issues. What we need to do is we need to plug it in. We need to play it. You need to hear how phenomenal this flying monster sounds. So let's head over to the Marshall and let's do it. Now, some people, when they play a Flying V, they're like, okay, let's play it like this. Nah, I mean, it slides, so I don't necessarily like that. Some people are like, oh yeah, here we go. Put it in like that, and I mean, that's fine. And if I'm stepping on a lot of pedals and I'm sitting and playing, sure. But the way I like to do this is I actually like to take my left foot and stick it straight out, and I like to take my right foot and stick it out and cross it over, and then now I've essentially locked the guitar in place, and I enjoy kind of doing this. So let's go ahead, let's roll through just some sounds. I'm going to do some simple chords, give you an idea of the sounds, and then we'll just have some fun with it. Here I'm going to start on the neck, full humbucker. Okay, let's go ahead and let's tap it, and now we've got basically less ohmage going through this thing. We're not splitting it, we're tapping it. man, it sounds so good. I really like that one. All right, now if I go to the middle position and I have them both in humbucker mode, it sounds like this. If I tap only the neck, so the bridge is still in humbucker mode, if I put it back into humbucker mode for the neck and I go ahead and pull it out for the bridge, this is what it is in middle position. Now if I have it all in complete splitting mode, so they're both pulled up, so both neck and bridge, I get this. Okay, so now put them both down and I'm going to go to the bridge. It's in humbucker mode. We're getting that rock and roll of a Marshall. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the bridge and we get this. So that was it. Now tapped. So there we go. Now let's get to some fun. Let's just play a bunch of different things and have a good time. Let's add a little bit of drive, but first we'll run it where it's just going through the amp on the bridge. It sounds dirty, but you know, we're adding a little bit more on top at the right time. Here we go. So how convincing is it when the coils are split? I mean, I can put on a tube screamer and I can go ahead and tap this coil and, well. Yeah, let's put it in the middle doing that same thing. Leave this one as a humbucker. This one can be split. Flip them. Now let's split both of them. Let's split just the bridge and put it on the bridge. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not a Strat, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. It sounds good. I like it. Yeah, if you put it on just the bridge and you tap just the bridge, then sure, it's a little bright. But that's why they made that thing called a tone knob. So I can turn that down to 7. Or 5. And there actually is also a relationship of the volume knob too. So turn it down to about 8. I got tone at 10 and it made a huge difference. So make sure you use those things because they actually do make a huge difference. Well, that concludes our time with the Tweed Couch Guitar YouTube channel. If you like what you heard, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the podcast, the affiliate links down below, and our social media. And remember that you are your greatest asset. Until next time.